Hi there, Leo, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I certainly appreciate both your viewership as well as your subscriptions. Okay? So, what I'd like to do for you today is to give you a shadow reading. Okay? So, basically, I'm sure many of you might not be asking, what is a shadow reading? So, let's first define what a shadow means. Okay? Put simply, ladies and gentlemen, a shadow is an anomaly. It's your evil twin, if you will. Okay? It's for those of you who are familiar with the terminology in literature, it's a doppelganger. Okay? And basically it shows tendencies that are very negative that you might want to consider releasing for your highest good. Okay? Now, with this reading, ladies and gentlemen, I've decided to use the Macabre Tarot today in order to convey your message. And basically, what we want to do is to just get in tune with with your pain, or become a bit more aware with your pain or your disease. It is not necessarily a physical type, a health type issue. It's out of ease. Well, you're just out of ease in some way. Okay? I've decided not to put a validity or expiration type period on this reading because it's something I feel you could work with throughout this year and as long as you feel that you need it. Okay? Rest assured, ladies and gentlemen, that this is a general reading, and as such, it certainly will not and may not resonate with each and every one of you out there. But for those for whom this reading is meant, I certainly hope that it offers you the valuable insight that you're seeking. Okay, so I'm going to go on and just shuffle up here, and we're going to see, or just start off with what I'm seeing as the overarching prevailing theme. And I'm going to share with you or provide you with the awareness that you need in order to heal. Okay? If this reading resonates, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Share it with others to whom you think might benefit, Leos. And be sure to press that subscription button so that each and every one of you receives future readings, okay? So let's go on and just select a few cards from the bottom of the deck to get a sense of, what this reading is really all about and what Spirit really wants you to know, and particularly which pertains to your situation, okay? We have the Nightmare of Crystals, okay? I'm going to put this card down here. It stays, okay? And we have the Ethereal, okay? So let's go on and just gain some insight, ladies and gentlemen, into what those cards are saying to you for your own particular situation here. And ladies and gentlemen, like I said, take the energies as they resonate with you, and those that don't, let them fly, okay? So let's look at the Ethereal, okay? With this card gives me a sense that many of you have been feeling a bit suffocated in situations and not really trusting your intuition as much as you should be. I feel that some of you might be having a hard time conceiving or having problems with motherhood, if you will, or just simply being controlling, too needy, or focusing extremely too much on the past and past hurts. Spirit wants you with this card to try to love yourself, embrace a bit more self-compassion, and find ways to connect with nature. Go outdoors a bit more than what you've been accustomed to doing. Okay? And then that next card there, we have the nightmares, ladies and gentlemen, or the nightmare here of crystal. All right. So with that card shows me that some of you are you're working extremely too much. You're a workaholic. I'm also seeing the flip side of this. I'm seeing some of you being lazy or just impatient, or you just lack commitment to your goals or the discipline that's required, or stubborn, or just simply being obsessed about things. Another thing that I see is that I feel that a lot of you procrastinate a bit too much. Too much hesitation, and Spirit says it's really time for you to get moving in some aspect of your life here. Okay? Now let's want to just to visualize or just examine your pain more closely here. I'm just going to select a card to represent your pain here. And we're going to gain insight into what Spirit really wants you to know when it comes to your pain here. We have Five of Bones. Okay. So with having that card there, that card shows a lot of conflict, I'm kind of feeling. A lot of conflict around you. So much so that it seems that the conflict could be resolved, but it just seems like something is constantly being blown out of proportion in some sense I'm getting. And some of you feel that you felt into the bottom of the abyss of despair that I'm getting. Or you just you don't like to do this, but you often find yourself in no-win type situations. Okay? These are things that you want to release and stop doing here. Now let's provide you with the awareness and the insight that you need to kind of help you heal here. We have Temperance, ladies and gentlemen. Leos, if this reading is resonating, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Share it with others to whom you think might benefit, and be sure to press that subscription button. So having Temperance there, uh, you might already be doing this, or you might be contemplating doing this, or you will soon. But meditation, or just knowing that moderation is key in your situation, and trying to have some self-control, self-restraint, if you will. Okay? So then let's go on and see that which is hidden from view, or of which you may not be cognizant at this time. Something surfacing in, or something that's really blocking or impeding success for you. Okay, we have Nightmare of Cups. And having that card there, that tells me that some of you look like you tend to be very hard and hard headed as well as airheaded. Okay, or you're just so you're unrealistic with things. Or some of you have this playboy, playgirl type mentality that gets you in trouble every time. Or you like to manipulate others, I'm getting. Or that can be something that happens quite often. Now let's examine the past, ladies and gentlemen, and how it has affected your health or your life in some way. Wow. You have the rigid. Okay. So it certainly seems to me that a lot of you seem to have been very dominated, or you either you've been dominated, or you dominate situations here. And you're quite stubborn at times, or out of touch with, I'm getting, how you truly feel here. It looks like there's a lot of illusions that sometimes surround you. Now, since we have a better understanding of your pain, let's want to provide you with what's needed for healing. What's the turning point for you? Okay, or that's required here. We have the Four of Cups. So with this card, of course, it seems to be telling me that once again, I have to say is you need to be realistic. And some of you might need to contact a specialist to kind of help you with constantly being depressed or you're lost in some way. I'm getting Spirit wants you to kind of get out of the doldrums to embrace change as well as new opportunities. So with that said, Leos, this is your reading. I certainly hope that it has offered food for thought. Be sure to like and share, subscribe if you've yet to subscribe, and should anyone wishes to have a more personalized reading, you can certainly scoot right on over to my website. Thanks so much for your time. Have a blessed day.